Hello, welcome to Computer Tech and More. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ROG Falchion NX. I think it could also be pronounced Falcon. Don't know. It's a 65% wireless mechanical keyboard. PBT keycaps. What else on the box? It's got won some awards. Aurora and other ROG NX Browns. A little bit of box tour. Here we go on the back. Keycaps, combined function keys, comes in a variety of other switches. All right, let's open it up. All right, then we got a box within a box. So it's got a little bit of foam padding on the top. Nice little embossing logo. And right here's the keyboard. We're going to take a look at that in a second. And let's see, we got our instructions, we got a couple stickers, some more instructions. Let's see, and there we got, what do we got? Looks like a little adapter, yeah, USB-C to USB-A, and USB-C. Dongle must be in the keyboard, so let's go ahead and open up that. So if you've been following my channel at all, I've been looking at keyboards, looking at getting a kind of second one to replace my drop shift and use that for work, and wanted a more dedicated gaming one for, well, gaming. Okay, that took me a hot minute to figure out. So I had to pull this out, and it comes with this tray. I guess we're going to come back to that. And then the keyboard, it's wrapped in plastic to keep it preserved. But anyways, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I've got a bunch of other keyboard videos, and let's do a quick keyboard tour. Let's start on the bottom. So it's got a little peel to protect the logo on the bottom, some product information. It's got tiny little feet. They're so small, they're kind of cute. Let's see, it's got a little bit of rubber there and rubber there, so when these are closed, that'll be the rubber. On the back, we got our USB-C input, we got our dongle slot, and a little selector there for either on or off. I need to see what that does for wired versus wireless mode, whether it can run in off, but certainly turning it on turns on all the lights. So let's take a quick look over this keyboard. So it has the secondary keys, buttons, all printed on there. So I love print screen. So you would push Fn and you get the secondary keys. So they aren't backlit, but because of the illumination coming through the keys, they will appear to be somewhat visible, at least in the dark. And because it's not plugged in, the backlighting is turning off without any input pretty quickly. So you got the volume, you got the F row. So this would be your ultra compact, really light keyboard to minimize the amount of space on your desk. We'll do a full comparison. Well, sounds pretty good. Mind, I am not on my desk surface. I'm just kind of filming it in one of my film locations. The keys feel pretty well stabilized. A little wiggle, but not too bad. Okay, while we're still kind of playing around with this keyboard, before I hook it up, I'll also see if I can pull out one of the switches and keycaps. I just don't have any on hand right at the moment. So we'll continue with the open box. So we got a little pad. This has a little bit of rubber feet on it. Is that how I would use it? It kind of fit over the top, but it also was really tight. And certainly fits this way. But can you see that? Getting a lot of extra space. So this really does elevate the keyboard off your desk quite a bit. So if you like, I prefer my keyboard as low as possible. it really low, I guess you would use it without this, and if you like it a little bit higher, then you could use it with it. I need to figure out what this is for, like specifically. It could also be just like a general travel thing, and then you just put it on the bottom and get playing games on a LAN party or something like that. Let's go ahead and plug it into a computer and see what's what. Okay, to set up the RGB lighting on the ROG Falchion NX series keyboard, we need to go into Armoury Crate, so that is just a requirement for this keyboard. It is up to you to decide whether Armoury Crate is a deal breaker for you. Since I already have it installed on my computer, it's not really a deal breaker. It's kind of an annoyance, but not too bad. So in here, we can adjust some basic stuff. So you can rearrange the lettering on the keyboard to be whatever format you want, or add other functionality. You can also adjust what the side touch bar does. I am going to leave it as the default for volume. You can see a little volume thing on the bottom. I think that just makes a lot of sense and actually kind of cool on it. It has an RGB light on the top so you can see where it is. Look, at a glance, the level, but you can select it and change it to be whatever you like, which is nice. I mean, that's what it should be. So over here, we also have power. I know I skipped lighting. It has how much it's got charged. So you could actually use this wirelessly and plug it into like the monitor, or have the cable like behind the monitor if you're and have it, you know, power it that way rather than needing a cable somewhere else. But wired or wireless modes are all acceptable. Lighting alert when battery percentage reaches, so you can let it decide what it's going to do. Switch to sleep mode after how long, so 3 minutes, 5 minutes, never. I probably would never put it on never, because it means that the battery will never, it'll always drain the battery. Turn off keyboard LEDs, turn off, decrease keyboard lighting brightness. Okay, let's see, firmware update if we want to check that, and then we've got lighting control. So first we have basic lighting, and if you want to do advanced lighting, you need to install and have Aurora Creator. So I already have it, so click on it, and it opens up this. And the main thing here is just to see available devices. Okay, and then this is actually the most annoying part for me, is setting up the keyboard. I don't think the software is that great, so you have to click on layer, then you click on that, and then so if I want to add additional keys to that, I have to go click edit, save, edit, okay, save, and then come over here, and I'm going to have it be my purple color. Okay, I'm going to just call it 1. All right, I'll see you in a second. I'm going to finish setting up the lighting on this keyboard. All right, I just finished getting all the different sections set up. So there are a couple of annoyances with the software. If you want all the lights to be on continuously, you need them all to be exactly the same spot. And you can set up to have like static, breathing, rainbow, blah, 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 in different patterns. But I basically just have a bunch of different layers for individual keys that I like as groupings, and set up my static color. And I can also come in here and do edit layer, or that isn't the way I want it to be. Okay, click save, and show layer or trigger effect settings. So I can change what the effect would be based on press twice, add effect. So reactive or whatever. I'm gonna keep that off because I don't want it that way. But yeah, it's for you to explore if you are really interested in this keyboard, but that's kind of the basics of it. And this is the way the RGB looks on the keyboard. and this is how it compares to my drop shift. So overall, fairly similar. The black keys certainly make several of the keys shine very bright, but you can see that it's got some bright areas and some very rather dimmer areas, while the drop shift actually it has the same sort of thing. So I'll let you decide which one you think actually looks better. But I think overall it looks just fine and dandy. I do like the little RGB light in the middle of the spacebar. That's missing on the drop shift, but that can be easily remedied if I so chose. But yeah, that's the way the RGB looks. Alright, next up we're going to be doing the typing test. And I have my camera in front of the screen, so it's kind of partially blocking my view, so I'm a little bit dyslexic, and plus that adds another level of difficulty to actually do this type of testing, but it's just the kind of space that I have available to me. These are some of the other ones I've done. So this one was actually a Razer keyboard that had, Alright, the microphone is going to be pointed at the keyboard so we can get a good listen to what the keyboard sounds like. Well, I don't know what happened there. It's like it froze for a half second and really messed me up. But 97%, 52 words per minute, that's about my average for most of these keyboards, with the only exception being, well, that one. So felt pretty good to type on. Sounds pretty good. I guess let's go ahead and jump to the gaming. Okay, as a general note about this keyboard, I am personally finding that it is not picking up the software. So the memory chip inside of it isn't saving my profile. I've been finding this with pretty much all the Asus ROG keyboards that I've used, where they just don't seem to save the profile. Mind, once the computer restarts, it'll load it up just fine, but switching from one computer to another, it doesn't do it. I'm also testing it out wirelessly, because that's one of the features about this keyboard, just that little switch in the back. And the scrolling light rainbow colors doesn't really affect gaming performance. Alright, we are in game. The game of choice is going to be Black Mesa. And let's go ahead and start from a different area. And we'll see how this keyboard does, both wirelessly and wired. Okay, let's see how this does. I'm being attacked by something. Alright. Responsiveness feels just fine. Flashlight. Where am I going? And we're going. Oh, we got some scientists. Oh. There, turn off the power. And through. Responsiveness feels just fine. Let's switch it over to wired mode. Switch that switch and plug it in firmly. And now we're wired. Yep, no real complaints. Feels absolutely fine. Okay, what do the pros have to say? So my primary resource for professional reviews is RTINGs, RTINGs, and they rated this keyboard at 9.3 for gaming, 7.8 for office work, programming at an 8, build quality is an 8.5, so pretty good. Backlighting is rated at 9.9, so it's excellent, and I have to agree it looks very good. Typing quality is rated at an 8.5. What did I say? The backlighting is rated at a 9.9, the typing quality rated at 8.5, and the latency rated at 9.9 at 1.3 milliseconds and 3.7 using the receiver. Sorry about that. My kiddo called me. What was I saying? So what do I think about this keyboard? Well, I think it's pretty good. For the price. For the price of $150, the memory chip inside of it really should just work. Once it's up and running, it looks fantastic. I can close down the programs that it uses to make all the colors, and so it doesn't use any more resources, and it just looks do fine. But every single time you restart your computer, every single time you hook it up to a different computer, you're going to have to reset it. Or at least that's what it seems like to me right at this point, because that's been my experience. That is a huge turnoff, especially at this price point. So can I recommend it as a keyboard? Definitely, it's a good keyboard. But is it worth it at its price? For $150, I'd almost get like a drop keyboard because it actually saves it in the memory. And this keyboard is not, and it's $150. But if you want the name brand, Asus is a name brand, you certainly could do worse than it. So take that for what you will. I guess that's where I'm going to leave off this video. Thank you very much for watching. I've got a bunch of keyboard videos up on my channel. I know I'm not a pro, but you get a user experience. And I'm big into fan testing right now. If you've got other keyboards you want me to check out, please leave them in the description below. I've got a Patreon page, and I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.